Good job, Taylor, for sending in your report. Some of us are slackers.
I try.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome everybody to our September 11th Broadwater County Fair Board meeting. I will call the meeting to order at 5:15. We'll have the approval of our July minutes from July 17th, from our July meeting, I should have said. They were sent out to the board via email from the wonderful Jess.
I'll move to accept.
What?
I'll move to accept them.
Okay, yeah, I'll accept a motion to, Karen
And I'll
moves to approve the minutes, and Val seconds it. I always mix them up for whatever reason. I really have to look at them to get the name right. I know which one's which, but the wrong name always comes out.
all
I
right.
don't know why, so I'm sorry about that. Perfect. So, public comment and guests. We have our lovely commissioner here, Jesse. Thank you for being present.
Absolutely.
Nobody else? Anybody online? Just anyone online? Okay. Correspondence?
No, I think I read them in July.
Okay.
No. I think we got some thank you cards from some 4-H kids.
Perfect.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We did get some thank you cards from 4-H kids. So.
That's nice. Wonderful. Reports and discussions. I'll start it off with the open class. So, recap of fair, we had a great little meeting. Well, it was a long meeting. We had lots to visit about last week. So, I have a list for you, Jess, as far as like things that we could try to purchase throughout the year for open class items, specifically like round tape, sticky notes, highlighters, that kind of stuff. I have like 3 pages, and I just typed them up to there. I would have sent them to you earlier, Jess and Karen, so sorry about that. But 3 pages worth of like feedback, so I would say that we were very happy with how the fair went. We had double the entries for open class items than we did the year before, so I think that was a really good win. Wow, lost everything. Okay. I'm not sure what else I was going to say. It was really good. There's lots of interaction in the building with the jean quilts pieces where people could write what their country dreams were. I dropped those off with Shirley, and so the quilt ladies are going to pull something together for us to display next year, which I think will be really nice. We didn't have as many like day of entries, so we were kind of brainstormed ideas on how to improve that for next year. Back to we think we had a good turnout of entries. We just talked about like word of mouth is the best marketing, so we feel like we did a good job in talking and trying to talk our friends into doing it. I will also say thank you for letting us use the text to my gov. I think that was a really big helpful push and win for us on that front. There's 3 pages. I'm not going to go through all of it, but we will have some edits, I think, to the book for next year. We potentially will have some new superintendents for next year. There was also some items that were ideas for just the general fair themed, as far as like really mostly their thoughts were we need to have things for families to do all day and not just come and walk through 2 buildings, eat, and then leave. Hi, Denise. And so there was lots of discussion around it, and so specifically it was brought up that we need to have like some more events underneath the tent. Unfortunately, just with the weather, I think this year lots of things just kind of were canceled, we have done like sign up and do a ring or sign up and do a painting. And I think we've had conversations around like people maybe didn't like the painting this year, and or people have done lots of rings, so maybe we need to figure out a different idea.
She only had 3 people sign up for the ring shop. Yeah.
And only a few, I think.
Yeah, and the painting one, she has to have a minimum before she'll come here.
Yeah.
And she said meet the minimum this year, so I don't know.
And may I also say it rains, and every day I think after this year, so I think the cooler weather probably didn't help a lot of entertainment underneath the tent, but we tried to come up with some ideas for things for underneath the tent, as well as just other interactive vendors. I'm happy to go through those now if we want, or we can do it later. Do you want me to do that now? Okay. So, talking about the National Guard bringing the rock wall or their big blow-up obstacle course. These are I'm just going to rapid fire these. First responders bringing a fire truck and ambulance for kids to go through and walk through. Doing a mini carnival, so a bunch of different minute-to-win-it games one day, whether it be Saturday or Friday. We're thinking more along the lines of Saturday, so people don't have to take off work, kind of a thing. And so there's different minute-to-win-its, like the duck game, Pepsi ring toss, cake walk, face painting, potato sack races, toilet paper toss, bobbing for apples, sandbox, corn box, and then versus having one group do all of it, if we could get different organizations to do each little thing. So say the Rotary only has to send one helper to do the cakewalk, or the Chamber only has to send one member to do the duck game, or something like that. So we came up with a bunch of different organizations in town that maybe we could ask. Again, I'm just spitballing things. So we had National Honor Society, Rotary, Close-Up Chamber, non-animal 4-H'ers, ranchers, businesses without storefronts, high school clubs, FACS class, Lions Club, hospital, PTA. Those were the ones that I got written down. And then also in conversation with other folks, there's talk about just trying to bring a big entertainment of some kind. Yes, not music, but I know we had talked and looked into the hypnotist. So I think if we want to do that, we really need to get approval of how much we want to spend on them right now, because they book up so dang quickly. So we need to go to the Rocky Mountain Fair Association with our date and a price in mind if we want to do, for instance, a hypnotist. It was brought up bringing the circus comes to town. Is there any way we could get them to come to town during the fair week? I know there's all kinds of things that are in that, but a dunk tank, creation of a mini golf, just bringing the bingo to the fair, and someone talked about funnel cakes. This is all starting to come back to me. Sorry, there's so much. We also talked about the commercial building, potentially putting music inside. Or you walk in there and it's dark, so something about the lighting. It was mentioned to me about putting flags outside for what's located inside, and that was said food. And we put that up, but people mentioned could it say ice cream, and so that's something there. We also talked about, and I don't want to step on any toes, Karen, so I'm saying it loud and clear, but a silent auction potentially. I know that 4-H does it. If there was an appetite for having the open class, say people, they enter in their 6 cookies, they could donate, a dozen cookies on a plate or something like that, just to try and bring those extra bucks for maybe those entertainment, and or save up some money to purchase a building to go over where the cement pad is, where the tent goes. So that was an idea. And then there's also was conversation around visiting with the grade school teachers and maybe having an art show in the commercial building, because I know the commercial building is just a tough one. It has been. And it sounds like there used to be an art teacher that did an art show, but it no longer is happening. I don't know if you know about Denise or Karen, but so if I were to go, or someone was to go visit with the grade school teachers and say, hey, can you save one art project from your class throughout the year, and then we'll display it at the fair. And it wouldn't be entered into any open class or anything. It would just be to try and get kids involved at the fair. So maybe when they come during the mini carnival or something, they can take their family into the commercial building. And the talk was, how do we display it? Well, we have, different display things. We could put like a border down the center, and then you have to walk on both sides of the commercial building versus just walking down it. Again, we're just throwing things at the wall at this point. So it was a really great meeting. We talked about a fair passport, like a sticker or a stamp for each vendor that is at the fair, and then so people have to go interact and talk to them, and then at the end there's like a big prize, like everyone gets their name thrown in for a drawing, and then they win cash or a TV or whatever, a cooler or something. So trying to get people to that was the one thing, and I apologize I missed the meeting earlier this week, but that was the one thing that I heard, and then obviously other folks from my superintendent group heard, is that there just wasn't enough to do all day at the fair. But I know that wasn't specific to open class, so I do apologize, but there's 2 pages of open class specific to, like, we don't want to have any more glass or frames because it just keeps getting broken for photography, so we're going to go away from glass and frames and just have matted photos and have them in 2 sizes so they're easier to display and looks a bit more uniform. With the 5x7 and 8x10. Gonna think about how we arrange our risers, just because there's getting to be more stuff and we need more wall space for things. We ran out of room for sure. Again, I apologize that there was so much of it, but it was this was just from our little superintendent meeting that we had, so lots of feedback. But I think that is all that I had. And I'll get you a copy of this. Sorry I didn't send it already. Again, I finished it right before I walked out the door. Any questions or comments?
No questions, but I love the fair passport idea. I think that's a super cool idea. Sort of like, almost like a geocache in a way.
Yeah.
You go stop and you get a stamp if you go there, and then I think that's a really cool way to get people engaged and involved into, making the rounds. And
it's a poker run, but it's family friendly.
Yeah. Someone explained it at the meeting as what's it called? Like a treasure hunt or whatever. Thank you. That's what it's called. A scavenger hunt. So I thought that would be good. But I will say it was really exciting to see. What's his name? Jeremy? No, Jason. The indoor security guy.
Randy.
Wow. I'm sorry, Randy. Randy said that people did want more of the Jean pieces to write their country dreams on. Back to circle where I started. That we ran out, and we thought we had made plenty. But people were really getting into like the interactiveness in that building, and I think it helps bring people in. Mm-hmm. They also really liked the Jean. What you walk through.
Oh, like a little dangly
curtain. Yes, yeah, like...
I don't know what it would be called.
I don't know either. It was like a jean curtain that you walked through to get in, and people, like, I was in there multiple times, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Mm-hmm. So I think we're really moving the way that we want to move, and just excited about that. But
the art show you were talking about, I believe Tanya Wise used to do a massive after-school program in the school year and in the summer. And the art show was huge. It was a very successful event. In relation to that, the school still has her display boards. They're freestanding, tall, black fabric. And then you Velcro their artwork to it. It worked really well. It looked very sophisticated. We actually kind of took that idea when we did one of our Conservation District Ag Dinners. One of the first ones that was focused on agriculture is we honored the women in agriculture in Broadwater County. And we had over 300 photos at the 4-H building. And they were all black and white. We had them all matted in black or white. And we covered all the walls in the 4-H building with black weed barrier fabric. and I just stapled it up all over, and then we stuck these photos. It was one of the most powerful events I've ever been to see all these women in agriculture in Broadwater County walk in and see their picture up there. It was very touching. So you could maybe take the black fabric idea with your displays for your open class photography if you're doing the matting. It just really makes stuff pop.
Yeah.
I've often thought about painting some of those walls and the pegboard in black.
Yeah, the weed berry is a good idea. Because I know when we
It is,
had
yeah.
graduation party, we tried to cover it with like vinyl tablecloths, plastic tablecloths, and they just ripped and they wouldn't stay up, and yeah, you couldn't stick anything to them and have it stay up. So the weed barrier is a good idea for that.
And if you need more wall space, you should talk to the school because they have those display boards. They used to keep them. I can't remember if they're not behind the stage. They must be upstairs above the stage.
They still use them for graduation.
Okay.
They pull them out on graduation week.
For the
and
senior
put all the
photos.
senior pictures so everybody
Yeah.
walks by them as they go in.
But that would really give you guys some options on more wall space,
Yeah.
separating your classes, and I'm sure the school would let you use them.
And
Yeah.
they have those things that the museum gave us too.
We do, yes, and that was one of the things of using them, maybe in the potentially in the
And they might have
whatever it's
more
called,
there.
commercial building.
I don't know if they got rid of them because I didn't take all of them because I didn't know how much we would use them and how much we wanted to store them all the time. But
That's
Yeah.
great. Thank you for that feedback. And again, I don't want to step on any toes with the art show, so please, like,
But I don't know if they're doing it anymore.
Okay.
Because our after school program has kind of really dwindled.
yeah, so it's like the summer program that we
Yeah.
were working with for all the pictures, but they ended up getting thrown away.
They used to
All
have
the
a
kids entered their pictures and
art
then they
camp,
threw them away.
and that's where a lot of that stuff
Okay.
came from.
okay. So yeah, I think it's worth, if that's okay, I will be happy to get in touch with the teachers now versus at the end of the school year so they can start saving, you know.
Mhm.
We'll start with one project or something like that and see how it goes. Again, just trying to get the general public involved in any shape, way, or form we can and get them into that commercial building. But that's what I have. We'll move on to Sheila.
Actually, I'm going to let Jess talk about the vendors. So you really were in touch with them.
I think we were actually pretty full with vendors. I mean, we could have technically taken one more food vendor. The vendors all had a great weekend. I don't know if I told all of you guys, but the Mining City Mud trailer said he said he's been doing this for 6 years, and Saturday was his biggest sale day he's ever had, ever. And according to the rodeo meeting, the concessions and everyone else, the beer garden, everyone in there did really, really well too. So I think there was a lot of people out there and they were enjoying and spending money. The commercial building, I think, only ended up with 2 open spots by the time fair actually rolled around, because there's a couple people that came like, Tuesday, Wednesday came out there to get spots. So there was a decent amount of people in there. The escape room, of course, took up like 3 of the spots, but
Do you know how that went?
it didn't. So he gave me the sign-ups, because everybody had to sign up for a slot, and there was lots of hours that had 0 people going through. So, and that is something that was available all day long.
Mm-hmm.
All day long Saturday, and not very many people went through it. I know there was one group, my kids were one group that went through, the hour before us was booked by a solid group. The hour behind us was like a group of like younger kids, and they actually went through twice because they didn't get it the first time. And then I think throughout the day there was only like 6, 7, 8 people that went through the rest of the whole day. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's just a reflection of getting the people to the commercial building too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not quite there yet with that building,
Yeah.
so they don't know it's in there. If they knew it was there, then they probably would have. but it's kind of off the beaten path, so it's,
That's what someone said. Like you walk through it, and there's like not a ton of interactive things in there, and then you walk out into like a empty field, like it's, or you come in from the empty field. So I mean, this I'm just sharing what I've heard, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I could give people lots of things to do. I didn't feel like I was bored at all, but you know, I just wanted to. That's what I told them too. I was like, I could give you things to do.
so maybe the flags or something, I mean, they even say vendors or.
We had one on each end. The feather flags, the red and yellow ones, were out on one on each end of the building. We even like had that mini cabin thingy set up by the big door on that one side. Like, you know, I was thinking people might go and check that out
Yeah.
and then see the big open door. The bouncy house was right there.
I wonder if there's like, I really like those, they're not easels, but what are they called?
Like the sandwich boards?
Yes.
Mhm.
I think if we could put like one of those, I know there is one there, but like if we could get like a big, just even line it with white paper and then just take a Sharpie to it, like a big fat Sharpie, and write like ice cream or whatever like keyword we think of the people that are in there.
Val's done that. She puts them out in like along the middle of the street by the food vendors. She would put, you know, vendors in the commercial building. She put a couple out in there or out there before.
I think some of it too is, you know, the empty field used to be full of all kinds of things. You'd have the cow pie bingo. We had goat roping there one year. We've had the wall, the rock climbing wall. We've had different things.
We've had equipment,
Yeah,
you know, out there, like farmer killed equipment.
Yeah.
right. So that's why maybe that passport thing, I don't know about like financially making that or what that would look like, obviously, you know what I'm saying, to create something that could be considered like a passport and they would get a stamp on it, to, you know, so that people could look right at their passport, oh, I'm going to go do this, and well, let's go do this next, and
There's an escape room.
yeah.
Yeah. And how do you handle it? I think there's always a lot of like work, and you know, there's always could be it's not going to work, but I think
And
it's
like the
worth
Sick Horse
trying
Rodeo,
it.
it was right there at that door, and that had,
All kinds
I
of
should have
people.
kept the sign-up sheets. It probably had, at least 3 dozen kids doing it, and with all the parents around you, so they were all there, right there.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the big bounce houses were set up for what, 5 hours on Saturday?
We'll keep working on it. There's no like perfect fit, but I'm happy to hear. I think people really liked the food. I will say, just on the vendor front, there was the vendor that brought 2 trailers, and they were looking for a place to camp and wanted to pull in, and I had to tell them that they had to go somewhere else, and that really made them unhappy and frustrated. So
Well, they know that from the get-go.
I'm not disagreeing one bit.
And as it is, we don't have enough room for our own people, so vendors cannot camp on our grounds. They can't.
Yes. I'm just doing my due diligence of resharing
We're already worried
the
for our ground.
comments. So,
Yes, they're all told that, so.
I guess in
And they also
hindsight,
showed up with 2 trailers last minute, thinking that they
Ooh.
could just bring in a toy trailer, which we had room since we had an extra food vendor spot technically. So yeah, they just.
but in hindsight, they could have parked in the lineman rodeo section because they're
They
really,
probably could have, because there was only a
This
few
year,
trailers out
yeah.
there, but.
but you don't know that.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I guess you would have by then because 4-H sets up on the Monday, but it's going to be a little bit different, obviously, again this next year
Yeah.
because we're back to major parking issues. So with just the spectators.
Yeah, even as it is, we're talking having to maybe even shuttle spectators in and stuff like that, so. Or make them a long path from the cow fields.
Yeah.
so with that, if there aren't any more comments or questions around the vendors, Denise, you're up with the rodeo.
Yeah, I didn't like make any notes, but just you know, the airport allowing us to park south of the runway was huge. Really not a lot of people used it Friday night, but Saturday it was slammed, and it was a huge help. Wish we could do it every year, but in talking with the engineer, she said absolutely no way. I don't know if Jesse has a different opinion, but
Well, that's what they were told us to.
yeah. So, I mean, and of course she pointed out, well, your current parking area is already in the zone. And I said, so if it's already in the zone, what's wrong with having the rest of it in the zone? But they don't like my logic. So somebody mentioned Doc Campbell's field, and actually his daughter, well, I don't know if she officially owns it, but she's the contact person. But it's still a jaunt. Somebody talked about, could we use the livestock field that's north of the fairgrounds for parking, but that would have to really be looked at because we have irrigation risers, and it's imperative that we have that field for the stock because they're there all weekend and they can't be just slammed into the pens for, that many days. But, I guess nobody should say no right now. We talked about maybe trying to expand things with Joe Nelson somehow in the city, but that seems a little iffy. And as Jessica said, maybe busing people in, which seems crazy, but I don't know. So the parking's going to be a huge concern. I think it went really well this year as far as rodeo contestants, 4-H members. At least what I saw, I was kind of surprised we didn't have more people parking the linemen just because it was a really nice grass area. But I think your crosswalk helped a lot. I think that all worked really well. We're still trying to work on finishing up our grant stuff. We are tweaking the sound system still. We actually are ordering 1 or 2 more speakers to kind of fix an issue at the north end. It doesn't really impact the spectators. It's more of for contestants because the sound doesn't want to carry past the metal grandstands, and contestants can't hear when they're up very good. So we're still working on that. We've got lots of ideas of things we want to do with the rodeo aspect of things, but it was a very successful rodeo year for us. I know we broke a record on Saturday as far as ticket sales. I don't remember what the numbers were, but we've never seen that many people standing on the ground up and down in front of the big grandstands. I mean, like 3 and 4 deep. We've never seen that. So the Tough Enough to Wear Pink and whatever the...
Man Up.
Huh?
Man Up.
Huh?
Man Up.
Yes, thank you. Those went super well, and the rodeo club is really, really happy with that. We're trying desperately to get Danger Dave, one of the top clowns actually in the nation, to come back. He actually, when he first got started, would do our rodeo every year, and he was a very, very good, funny man, and he's exceptional now. But he's really hard to get just because he does the pro rodeo circuit. But we're trying to get him to come back. I don't know if I'm forgetting something. We had our joint meeting Monday, and everybody seemed really happy with things, just kind of brainstorm. There's always been talk, should we split it up again? And, personally, I love having both of them together. I understand the issues, but I just think it's such a strong community event. And I think, honestly, most of the rodeo club prefers to have it together, other than you would have less headaches if you separated it. But I don't know. Personally, I love having it together. So anyway, that's about all I have.
Any questions or comments for Denise with the rodeo? Okay. Karen, 4-H?
I don't really have too much. It went really well. We had a lot of entries in indoor and livestock. Sale went well. I think we worked really well with rodeo. We just made it all happen, so I think it was a good fair.
Good deal. Val?
I really don't have anything to report.
Okay. Any questions or comments around the reports or discussions? Okay, we'll move on to the Fair Board business, budget update. The budget is on the
It's a whole
separate
paper.
sheet.
It's a whole paper. So this I just updated as of today. Overall, of course, we're always looking pretty good. We have a hard time, I think, barring any major incidents or repairs. We can pretty easily stay within our budget. So this is like I said, up to date as of right now. So some of the percentages are not reflecting that we're only 3 months into, 2.5 months into our budget cycle, because we've used, like our contract services, we've used 100% of our budget almost on that, but that's because everything is weighed heavily towards that Fair Week. Yes, a couple things to note. The county did change to Mako now instead of DIS. So like some of like the services that are connected to DIS, I don't know what the costs are going to be. I really was never told like what our maintenance costs and our service, and the email looks like it went up by 99 cents. It used to be $4 a month. It's $4.99 now. So I don't know, like those kind of things. I can't really say anything about them until they show up on my Black Mountain report, and then I'll know. One thing we do have is I did have to take out an extra $700 for premium money and petty caches this year. Our open class and 4-H premiums together totaled $3,487. That's just ribbon money. And usually I just take out $3,000 for that, and I am able to put back a few hundred into that account at the end of the year. So this year I had to take out more. Same with our petty cash, because we did end up, like our sponsor coupons and such were paid from our petty cash. So our petty cash went over the normal $500 that I take out for petty cash. We went over on our hand washing station, since we did have to get the porta potties this year. So porta potties and hand wash stations cost us about $1,200. I don't know if everybody knows, but when we went, those yellow restrooms are winterized, and we only take them off out of winterization for Fair Week. So, and maintenance guys went out to turn the water on, and there was no water. So there had been a break last October. There was somebody in the 4-H building, a renter, and they called because they had no water. There was something that broke a line, and it filled the pump is located in like the blue concession stand, and it's down in like a culvert thing. So the broken line had filled up the culvert, blew the pump because of the electricity, and so there was no water. So they thinking the part that broke is between the pump house underground somewhere to the yellow restroom. They were thinking that that's what broke. So that's going to have to, I guess, be a discussion on the county's part on what we're going to do with those, if we're going to try to fix them or if we're just going to demo them or what. Because honestly, it takes the maintenance guys, a couple hours to bring them online and take them offline. It takes me about a half a day to power wash them every time we bring them on, because birds get in there and nests, and so they can't make their way out. So there's dead birds everywhere, there's poop everywhere, and there's nesting materials everywhere. And I take the power washer to it usually, and it easily takes a half day to do that. And then we also pay the $500 for the restroom cleaner. So I don't know. I kind of think that the porta potties are kind of the way to go, because it's something we don't have to think about. We don't have to worry about once they're there. The guy comes through, he cleans them, he stocks them. That's it.
So repairing the yellow restaurant, we'd be money ahead to just get the porta potties overall, probably.
I think in the long run, overall, they're just kind of a money pit.
Right.
Can I ask why we need the porta potties when the other bathrooms are right there?
Well, the other bathrooms were well used. Like I went through a case of toilet paper, and he still had to service the porta potties twice throughout the weekend, each porta potty on our end.
Okay.
Not
I
in-
just don't think there's enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just don't think there's enough.
Got it. Okay.
And we closed the indoor ones at 10. When the 4-H building closes, we close those ones.
Could the yellow building be like converted to storage or something different?
I don't know. We would have to look at it because it's not.
Because if you're saying birds and stuff get in there, it must
Yeah,
not
it's
be.
not. I think like that middle portion. I don't even think the middle portion's insulated because when you're in the bathrooms, you're looking at metal walls, and yeah, when it's dark in there, you see light everywhere coming through. So I don't know what
You
it
might be
could
able
be.
to fix that. I mean, like for storage or so. I mean, with not too much work.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so, but, and
Yeah.
I assume we always need storage or no? Or do we
Like
really?
stuff like cold storage, things that doesn't matter if it freezes and it heats and it freezes and it heats. I don't know, because I mean the commercial building, yeah, it's pretty full, but so
You probably wouldn't be able to have anything in there that mice can get into, right? So,
yeah,
like
I
the
think
chairs and
you would at
tables
least
and-
want to do
like
some
that.
work on it
Yeah.
and critter proof it. But yeah, I'm sure. I mean, because there's electricity into there, so there's lights. So you could use it for something if you took out all the stalls and everything. But so I don't know. I guess probably have a conversation with Bugsy and commissioners and stuff and see what he thinks we need to do to even. I mean, at this point, it would have to be fully cleaned in order to do anything with it because all the bird mess is still there because I didn't clean it.
Mhm.
So
I guess is that something where we would want to get a quote to see what it would cost?
yeah, that I as far as I'm concerned, I think it's up to the maintenance department because that's their fees. They would be paying to get it fixed. Because they've taken over. You guys can see that we've blocked off utility services, janitorial supplies, all that kind of stuff is going through our maintenance department now. They're also the ones doing the work out there when anything happens. So the county has kind of taken over some of those type of budget items.
I mean, I just feel like that's a valid question of like, is that something that we need to then have them present at these meetings so they can understand what we're thinking, or is that something where you, Jesse, would be the liaison?
I think I will try to talk to them. I can't do it tomorrow, but next week I'll try to talk to Bill and get a thought process from them.
Because that's a pretty big area out there, just the fairgrounds in general.
The only time it's ever used is for Fair Week. And so you do all the work to use it for 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just mean even in regards to this stuff too.
The utility services and stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe we don't need it. Maybe that's what I was wondering if it just the budget wise or.
So they kind of keep tabs on all of that through their budget meetings with Bill Drocky.
Mm-hmm.
All of that's done through their meetings, so they kind of keep tabs of it through their own process. I don't think they would need to necessarily be here for it. If there's something more you need, we can pass it on to them. But
Okay. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, if there's a big project or something and we
Yeah.
want them to help us with it, then that might be something we consider,
But if they're gonna do something, do they let you know?
yeah, well, they don't really do anything out there unless we ask them to, so,
Oh.
they really, the only thing that they've had to go out there for is they go out and check fire extinguishers. If anything's broken, like when the restroom, when all the toilets stopped flushing, the renter called me and then I called Bugsy and we both went down there. And then he stayed there until the plumber came and got us a pump to dump down in there to get it all dewatered and stuff like that. And like he meets Chucky out there quite a bit whenever there's other issues. He'll talk over it with with Chuck and Lisa usually. So
And then my next question would be is, does our budget reflect we'd no longer get those funds? It went to them.
So, yeah.
We still get the same
essentially,
amount.
Yeah, it's still the same, you guys still get the same amount. What they did is it was countywide, versus each department having to pay for
Toilet
utilities,
paper,
toilet
paper
paper.
towels. Okay,
It was
yeah.
just kind of done all in one thing, like all the phone bills and stuff now are done through one,
Which
just the
makes
maintenance
sense.
department.
Yeah.
Versus each department having their own. It was really confusing. So
Okay.
it just kind of nothing really changed other than it just everything going to the maintenance department more for bookkeeping sides of it than anything.
Okay.
So it's less tracking for.
Yes. Yeah.
yes, when Chuck calls me, and they also go out there.
That was my wondering.
They go out there
Propane.
monthly to check the fire extinguishers, and they check our propane also.
Right.
And so then usually when it's time to fill it, they usually just call Chuck directly and then just let me know that he'll be coming to fill it, and the bill goes to the maintenance guys, not to us.
Okay, because it went over last year.
Yeah.
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 That's kind of was my other thing was the propane.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then another thing is 4-H judges, which we might have to, I guess it's not a lot, but there's more judges now, and they're having a harder time finding some judges for the different shows, and so it's a possibility. Well, our fees did go up this year because they split small animals. So we used to just pay one judge fee for the small animal judge, and they did poultry, pocket pet, and rabbit. It's hard to find judges that like to do all three of those, and we also split the shows up into 2 different days. And so we had to get just a rabbit judge and just a poultry and pocket pet judge. So we had another judge fee in there. The judge fees aren't bad. They're usually like $50 or $75. It's usually the mileage that gets us. So we do put $700 towards mileages for fair judges, and we almost made that this year. We were at $670, but like I said, it's getting kind of harder and harder to find people, especially for the prices that we do pay. So altogether, I think we paid our judges $835, and normally what we budget is $785. So it's an extra $50 because of the extra judge. So that is something. If the 4-H program keeps growing and we have to get more judges and getting judges from further away to come, or even paying them more to make it worth their while, I don't know if it's an option to start trying to split that with 4-H or have 4-H take over some of it. And indoor judges too. We got more indoor judges this year because we have more kids with indoor judging time.
One thing we talked about there is decreasing the number of entries that they can do, which would then help decrease the number of judges.
Yeah.
We need it. So that's one option. The other thing, and I know we talked about it when we were paying premiums, is the way the premiums are set up for the ribbons. And right now, a blue and a purple, correct me if I'm wrong, but they both get 3. The red gets 2 and the white gets 1. I guess I would like to see maybe the purple get 3, the blue get 2, and the red get 1, and the white nothing. And that just splits them out, and that would also save us a little bit on premiums going up.
Yep. That is another thing that we did discuss. I forgot about that. Personally, I don't think that purple and blue should be paid the same. They're different awards. They should be awarded different amounts of money. So I don't know if that's something we could maybe put on our agenda and discuss and vote at one time.
Yeah, in the future.
So
Something to think about.
So how come you didn't have a budget written on here? You said you budget around $785 for the judges.
So my judge fees come out to $220 operating supplies.
Oh.
That's why I turn them in, and my travel fees come out of 370. 370. No, I have
On the bottom, it says
mileage worker. Yes. So when I went through my Black Mountain software system, all of the judges' checks came from 398 instead of the other one. So
Contracted services.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of them came out of one, and the others
Gotcha.
came out from the others, and I don't know why. I do have to go talk to accounting about one of those because one of them came out twice. Yeah.
Are there any questions around the budget? Comments? How much do we pay out in the county cash? Do you know?
In the petty cash,
No, the county cash for like the little vouchers.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I have a sheet because every voucher that got turned in, I have it tracked on a little tracking sheet. So
That'd be cool to know if you wouldn't mind, just to know how well.
well,
it went.
and one of the food vendors left early, and they were supposed to be coming in here to get paid out for their vouchers.
Okay.
So I'm going to call them tomorrow and let them know if they don't get in here by next Tuesday, they won't get paid. Because I need to get because I do a final report to the county office saying, okay, you gave me $4,200 in cash is what they gave to me personally, because it has to be made out to me because I go to the bank and cash it. And so then I turn them in the report, the budget report or the premium report from Fair and Trade, showing how much is paid off there. And then all of our petty cash reports and all of our receipts for petty cash and to show where all of it goes. And then that way, if there's anything more, I can give it to them and deposit it back into those funds. So I need to get that done, but I've been waiting on this gal to show up. So
Is that the popcorn person?
no, it's not. It's a local one.
I feel like those popcorn people leave early, and it kind of irritates me because I'm always looking for it, and they leave early. Doesn't it have something that they're not supposed to leave early?
They're not supposed to leave early. But yeah, Sunday does have required hours to be set up.
Yeah. You know. Anywho, okay. Any other budget items? Okay, we're moving on to the Fair Board member renewals and registrations, resignations.
Okay, so we know that Sheila is stepping down at the end of this year, and her term was up to 12/31 of 2025. So we already have your letter. We're good. Denise, your term, because yours was just a 1-year term at first, so yours is up on December 31st of this year. So if you are interested in staying on, we just need like another letter just saying that you're interested in continuing your term on the Fair Board. The 3 of your guys' don't expire till 2027.
Karen's so sad.
So we don't have to worry about you guys yet. But
Unless they resign.
unless you guys resign.
Unless you quit, be a quitter.
So we do need to, I guess, start looking around for somebody to replace Sheila, and we'll, Daleen usually starts running those advertisements on open board positions and stuff, so I'll get a hold of her. You are planning on re-upping your term?
Probably, but,
Okay,
probably.
okay.
Unless something better comes up.
Yeah, unless there's a better paying position out there.
So I'll give Daleen a heads up that we're looking for one member.
They have to be ran for 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else? Now's when you tell us your secret.
Oh! I haven't thought about it yet. I haven't.
You said you would. I called this woman as soon as she sent that email. I couldn't take it.
Well, it's not that big of a deal, but public relations, I'm sorry, guys. It's just not enough for me. So I'm offering to take back the vendor.
I'm pretty sure you can have that back. I think it would be easier to find somebody new to do some PR for us. To throw them into vendors.
So that's all it is.
Okay,
There you have
we'll
it.
take it.
Okay.
Thanks. Any other questions or comments there? Okay, we'll move on to the Rocky Mountain Association of Fairs Convention. Is in Montana this year, in Billings, in November, the 12th through the 14th.
Yep.
Look at me go, I just looked it up today. So those who are interested in attending, you're not going to find it any closer than that. It's a really great convention. I would go, but I am going to be traveling for work. So I'm really bummed I'm not going to be able to go. It was really fun, huh, Sheila?
It is fun.
Yeah.
It is, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
It's definitely worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone interested?
Yeah.
I think we send Val because she's just like full of all these great ideas and keeping everybody in suspense.
Have you ever been to one, Val?
No, but I would love to go.
You
should
would?
go.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
okay.
I think it'd be awesome.
Well, because I know, well, I guess I can't technically speak for Karen, but I'm pretty sure. that
Well, she could
Karen
go
will
with
be
me.
It's State Volleyball Week.
If we're not
Oh.
at state, I might
I know.
jump in and go.
Yeah.
And you can sign up that day. You can register that day on site. It's a little bit more expensive. But otherwise, like the full registration, which includes meals, is $275, which is about. It might have only been $250.
Yeah, I think
last
it went
year.
up.
Yeah, so I think it went up by $25. But
Is that covered, or does she have to pay for that?
nope, it's in our budget. It's in our
Oh.
Fair Board budget.
Hey,
to send-
free vacation. Val.
We budget.
To Billings.
We budget to
Send them. Yeah.
275, and we budget for the hotel for it, up to, I think, what was it, up to 500.
Mm-hmm.
Last year we even were able to reimburse all of your travel, or a portion of it at least, because Sheila went and it was in Bismarck.
No, Rapid City.
Rapid City.
Yeah.
Rapid City, yeah. So we were able to like reimburse her flight and stuff. So it is, I have a preliminary schedule if you want to look at it. And like I said, to get the regular rate of $275, I have to just register by October 15th. So you have a little bit to think on it, but it's at the Hotel and Convention Center in Billings. And so they usually have a room block. You just stay right there.
I would recommend going out to the RMAF website. They do have scholarships available.
RMAF?
Yes, and they said that last year they didn't use all of it.
Okay.
So just check that out and see if you can get a little bit from that.
Sure.
I would also recommend that you go out there with some idea of what you'd like for entertainment, because when these entertainers show up, they're kind of looking to fill the holes already. I mean, they're booked that far in advance.
Uh-huh.
And so if they fit into the hole and it's kind of what we want, you need to go, yes, that's us.
Uh-huh.
Write us down. So
Which that brings me to my next comment about that is, what do we budget for our entertainment again? What's the big ticket
So the thing is it'll be on our
next year?
26-27 budget, and so we can kind of play around with it. I think most concert years, it's like just our regular concert years, like even, I mean, LN show costs us $4,000.
So 4,000.
Um,
So like I really like, if there's any way that we could say, Val, you can book us for something for $4,000, everything included, I think that's the only way we're gonna get people.
Yeah.
That they're just, it's too hard to get them not at that event.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, and we had that one guy that I had spoken to
Yeah.
at the fair. It was like $1,500, and by the time I got home, then it was $2,000.
Yeah.
And then 3 weeks later, it was like $2,500, and so it was.
Yeah.
So if you can nail them down right then and there and say, "Yep, I'm the signatory. Let's sign the
Yeah.
contract," you're locked in.
I've never experienced something like
So
it
does she have to
before.
have a contract, or do they have contracts available that when you're at the convention, though?
I think they all have one.
We probably
Even
want
just like a
ours,
piece
though.
of paper that says, I will get you at this for this, and you both sign it. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
they're
we-
interesting characters.
Because we do have contracts for our entertainments, and even like escape room, they send us a contract, and I had to send it to our legal department, and our attorney has to go through it and make sure that the wording is acceptable before we can technically sign it. And even I technically can't sign contracts. Like, the commissioners have to sign our contracts, the big ones for entertainment. Like, I signed the $150 Travis Reagan and Jasper Eschman and stuff, but the bigger ones really should go through the county department. But
Again, just being able to commit.
Yeah,
really
if you can get a
saves us.
commitment letter or something.
Which brings me to the next thing. When's our next fair? I think I tried looking it up.
it's
about
the
same
7th,
date.
7th, 8th, 9th-ish is that. It's we're in the same boat next year. August 1st is a Friday.
6th through
Or
the
no,
9th.
August 1st is a Saturday next year.
6th
So
through the
we,
9th.
or that next one.
Okay.
The 6th through the 9th?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, so Val, if you're interested, I can give you this paperwork that I do have, and you can
Okay.
look at it.
All
You
right.
can also look at rmaf.com, and they have information on there. And then if it's something you do want to go to, Denise, are you interested at all?
Possibly, but I don't know. I mean, I just think I don't want to like waste the money. I would rather.
Do you know what? Actually, there's like specific rodeo. Like there's a rodeo production workshop.
It's so good. It really is.
They did have workshops, and you can choose which workshops you go to at which time slot.
Yeah, just email that to me, or if you have an extra copy here.
I'll make copies for both.
Okay,
of
that'd
you
be great.
before you leave. Because I've always said I think it'd be nice to send two people.
Okay.
Honestly, when you go there by yourself, like we're like the only
There's
ones that
just so
only has
much.
one person in attendance, and it's kind of.
It's
I
way
didn't-
more fun to go with people.
I didn't love it because I'm not very
Outgoing.
outgoing, so I
To
was just like,
strangers.
you find like a table with other like people that might be by themselves, and you're like, hi. And they're like, you're the only one here from your fair? Because other ones are like, oh, this is our maintenance guy, and this is our fair manager, and this is our fair board chairman, and this is our volunteer, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, how big is your guys' budget? Must be really big.
And you're there with people that have, and our budget's only $75,000. And I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Only, yeah.
Yeah.
Ours too.
Yeah. Only.
Yeah.
Divided by 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions about the convention? Okay. Are we gonna meet in October? Do we need to move that we approve to spend the funds for sure Val and potentially Denise? Or will we have another meeting before then?
Before the 15th might actually be hard,
Okay.
quite honestly. But
Does someone want to make a motion that we at least send one person and pay for their registration and hotel, and then if somebody else decides to go, we can discuss the next time. And
What if couldn't you make a motion to pay for 2 people to go? And
they don't use
at
it.
the most 2 people, right? Up to 2 people to go to convention.
Sounds like you're making a motion.
Okay, I
Denise.
move
Okay.
that we budget for 2 people to attend this convention, paying their registration and motel room. Do you also cover fuel?
Mileage.
We really just have kind of our $500
Okay, that's the maximum.
for hotel, and the miscellaneous traveling $300.
So that's $800.
I think is that correct? I don't want to speak out of turn. Is that total?
that's
That's kind of for our
Yeah.
year.
yeah, it's for the year.
But so up to, and that doesn't include the registration, which we currently have budgeted $250.
Okay.
So am I hearing that it's like $1,050 that you have set aside total then?
Yes.
Okay. So I move that we use the full budget, up to the full budget, to hopefully send 2 folks to the convention, and hopefully also applying for scholarships to maybe assist with some of the expenses or shortfalls.
Is there a second?
I second.
Perfect. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any more discussion?
If we're short, would rodeo help you a little bit, do you think?
I would think if I went, yeah, they would. I would think so.
Just another avenue.
Yeah.
At one point, they did pay for the part of the fair board member going there.
Okay. Any more discussion? Discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to vote. All those in favor of the motion that Denise said of sending 2 people, up to 2 people can attend Rocky Mountain Association of Fair Convention and Billings using our projected full budget of $1,050 and ask that we apply for scholarships where able. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. It has been approved. The motion passes that we will do that. Cool. Good luck, everyone. I want funny videos because it's so much fun, and I'm so bummed I can't go. Moving on to old business, 2025 fair recap, the joint meeting with rodeo and 4-H. Apologies, I missed that. Anybody have notes from Monday?
Well, I think a lot of it was covered with Denise's and Karen's discussions earlier. Mostly it was the discussion on parking for next year, since we won't be able to use that extra airport area that we were able to use. Mayor Rouser was there, and what she say the projected end date of that tower is June?
Yeah, she said June or July.
And so
She seemed really optimistic that it would make that deadline.
So in hopes then that hopefully the footprint is shrunk down to its final size, which is, I think it's quite a bit smaller. Looking as we were leaving, that orange fence is going to move south by, I don't know, 75 feet, I would say at least, because it's pretty far out there. So the hard part is since it is June or July, it cuts it close for us to see what exactly we're working with. But who knows, maybe they'll be able to scrunch it up before it's technically finished,
Yeah.
you know, so.
We also talked about, we did have some issues with rodeo contestants on the far east end and spectators on the far west end blocking traffic to go in and out of there. It was a huge issue, I think, on Saturday. I mean, like not a bunch, but some horse trailers were blocked by, I don't know if it was rough stock people or spectators that parked, you know, and they blocked so they couldn't get their horse trailers out. In fact, somebody couldn't even get into their tack room of their horse trailer. And we kept announcing it at the rodeo. And that was basically across from the double green gates, you know, where the contestants could park.
Out in the pivot corner parking.
Yeah.
And they still.
Yeah, it was a major issue. But thank goodness the county came in, the road crew, and fixed all of the asphalt to make it a lot safer to park to the east. It would have been an utter disaster if that wouldn't have been fixed. And they actually came in and they worked on inside on the grass area off the main asphalt inside the fairgrounds, and they sloped that because there was no way horse trailers could go up and down out of there. So that was a huge help. So yeah, TJ kind of manned that and did a really good job with his crew that came out and did it. It was kind of a last minute thing because I think the airport people were supposed to do that, or there was a miscommunication or something.
Yes, I don't know exactly what happened, but something
Yeah.
did.
But it got resolved in quick order. And I think you guys did okay with your going across the asphalt for the livestock. That turned out okay, right?
Yeah, I agree. The crosswalk and all that, really roping it off so that they couldn't park there, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Did our vendors have issues?
They had to just jack up.
Yeah, they all had like
Even
their little
overnight,
things
I
to
think.
put under the one tire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all of them. I didn't hear any complaints about it.
We had some 4-H kids and stuff going out into the field, the hayfield. But once Jason was able to talk to him at the meeting, then I don't think there was any more issues after that. They were kind of messing around out there further in the hayfield past where the parking was. But really, I don't think there was anything like there was a few years ago when they're climbing over the horse barn roofs, and that was crazy. But
They behave themselves a little better.
yeah.
Okay. Any other comments or questions about that? Okay, moving on to new business, the rentals update.
Let's see. There's the Montana Draft Horse people they're going to be out at the grounds this weekend using the building and the arena. I don't remember if you guys remember in the spring they had like their spring meeting here. Their fall meeting is usually in Madison, maybe, where there's a fire. So the fairgrounds is being used right now, and so she reached out to Lisa and I a few weeks ago. They're deciding on whether they wanted to wait it out and kind of see, or if they were just going to change it. And so they did just change it. So we might see like the buggies and stuff around town, and they'll have the carts out there. And so any spectators are welcome. They like doing that, and if anybody's really interested in it, they usually end up even being able to get into a cart and take a ride with somebody. So
So fun.
yeah.
That's cool.
And then, what else do we have? We had a few events. Montana Farmers Union is in there next Thursday nights. And some graduation events already being booked for the next 2 years.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So.
Any issues with any of that, Jess? You were spending a lot of time out there, and we were nervous about that. At one point in time, how's that?
No, I think it's okay.
Doing good? Okay. Just want to make sure you're not being spread too thin there. Cool. Any other questions or comments around that?
Not, I don't know why this, you were talking about the buggies or something. Val would probably be the only one that remembered. Did you know we used to have a racetrack out there, and we had horse races? And we had carriage races. Do you remember that? Yeah. And we used to have the funnest sort of, it wasn't an Omoxie, we called it a fun day. And like we would have egg races on horses.
It was on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It was around the 4th of July.
And then we had fireworks that same night. Yeah. So the racetrack, I don't know, you know where the arena is right now, on kind of the west end in front of the big grandstands. If you look at the arena, you can see where there's like some big wire fencing on both the northwest and the southwest end. Those fences opened up, and then the track went all the way around. So like where the commercial building is, and out around that used to be the racetrack. Went all the way around.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Shows how old we are, huh?
Yeah.
You said it. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I just got older, so you know.
Okay, so our next meeting before we adjourn, I always do that wrong, so I remember this time. Thoughts on, do we need one in October? Can we wait until November? And then if we have one in November, we can skip December and do January with the holiday season.
What day in November would it be?
Well, that is a problem.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because then we have volleyball.
Problem too.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I went through and looked at dates that the room is open and there's no volleyball. For November, there's Monday the 3rd, Wednesday the 5th, however, that might be a team dinner night, but maybe we can have somebody else set it up for us, Karen, because that's the night before divisionals. Thursday the 20th or Monday the 24th. That's November. In November.
When is state volleyball?
The 12th and 13th. 12th, 13th, 14th.
So the 20th makes a little more sense, doesn't it?
It's...
I'll be gone, but that's okay.
I have a meeting already booked
You do?
with the Community Foundation at 5:15. We could, if you're willing to go later, I can go from one to the other. We'd be done by 6. But
What about the 24th?
I can do the 3rd or the 24th.
I can do the 24th. That's the only day. That month, sorry.
Okay.
November
Or we could go
24th.
late October to Monday the 27th or Wednesday the 29th or Wednesday the 22nd.
I could do Wednesday the 22nd or November the 24th. I kind of like going in November and then we,
Yeah.
I just don't feel like we have a ton to discuss, but that's just me.
November 24th.
Is that okay?
Monday
Is that
the-
okay, Sheila?
Yep.
It'll be our last one with you. I'll bring treats.
So hopefully we'll have some letters of interest.
That's
to
the
look
thing.
over
If
that,
you
too.
if you resign, you have to find someone to fill your seat. Otherwise, you can't. That's how it goes.
In the bylaws.
My resignation, no, I just.
Okay.
November 24th at 5:15 here in the Flynn Building. Cool. Okay, any other comments, questions, or concerns? I will move to adjourn the meeting. I don't know what time it is. At 6:25.
We're done?
Yeah.
You're gonna second it?
Yeah, I forget. Does it adjournment
I'll
need to
second
be?
it, or
Okay.
somebody second it.
All those in